Okay,
This
so
is bad, folks.
we committed.
We got nothing. We got nothing that time. And it's only a 2. We only needed 1 to make the decision.
I probably should have discarded a card. But with the way it's going, I've been holding 2 cards most of this game, so. Alright, so optional engagements. Oh no, travel. Do we want to travel? Probably not, right? Because you need a block. Because, yeah, I don't think...
It's a 2, but that's going to stay in there. We're going to start at a big... You have something?
It attached to a location and it gets 1 less threat. I could do it next turn.
You could do it while it's over there. Oh, it doesn't matter over there. I don't know.
I would rather you do your blocking. Because if you can...
What does that have to... Each player, what?
Exhaust 1 hero. So you need to double block and double attack, right? I say leave it so you can get stuff done.
Alright. I hate doing that.
Oh, are you going to kill the spider and leave the big spider just because of that? Because we know that it might come out again.
Big spider here. If he blocks that, I can take out little spider.
Okay.
Because he swings for 2 and I don't take any damage as long as the shadow card's not horrible. Right. So yeah, I can take out 1.
Okay, if you can kill that spider, I think I can kill this dude, which will drop it down 2. And the next turn when
you're gonna kill it this turn?
Yeah, he puts 2 on it, and it'll.
Oh heck yeah! All right, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so first player.
No optional, right?
Yep, we're not gonna travel.
And then no travel. Optional engagement. They're both 35s.
We're not doing it.
We're not optionally, and our threat is below 35, so they don't come down.
Deal the shadows. First player, 1 here, 1 here, 1 over to Jeb. Alright, so I'm going to defend. Veteran hand axe is going to defend the big guy. Boom. No shadow effect.
Good.
People, no shadow effect. He just dies. Poor guy.
And when he dies?
Oh, Mickey gets a resource.
Alright, your other spider.
And Fallon's going to defend that.
Oh, what's its base attack, a 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the worst it could be is a 3.
Probably. You never know about this game. Oh, look, a shadow effect. Attacking enemy gets +1 attack.
Does it have the in parentheses?
Yeah, it does. +3 instead if it's undefended.
Oh, +3, so it would have... Oh.
It would have just destroyed me. So it hit 3-2. He's going to take another wound. That's kind of bad, but he's alive.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
So it was worse than I remember. Alright, for my spider, I'm sending out the Hobbit.
I could take out the big guy.
But we
I know.
Alright, the Hobbit...
That's another ally.
The Hobbit is going to sacrifice himself. Well, I don't know. Do you want me to send you the Hobbit?
No, I have my armor next turn.
Okay. So Hobbit's going to be eaten by a spider? I thought something similar happened in the book.
I think he gets bitten.
So no effect.
Yay.
It's a 3 attack. Does 1 defense, so 2 damage. He only has 2 damage. He dies, and Legolas gets a resource because
he died. That's really good, people.
And
okay, attack phase. I am going to attack the small spider with both Gimli and Legolas. Alright, so Legolas is participating, so that's a 3. Gimli is participating, that's a 4, that's a 7. He has a 1 shield and 4 health, that is far beyond what it needs to survive. That dies. And Legolas participated in that, where an enemy was destroyed. Excuse me, so 2 progress tokens go on.
And this is important because it's a 2. A 3 on there means
but
the
it's
one
a
doesn't.
Quest.
Yeah, it doesn't spill over, so that third is worthless. Time freezes, and we resolve the next part. And what does it say? We randomly choose.
Right, and then, well, it's actually on this card.
No.
When you defeat this stage, proceed to one of the 2 a chosen path. What you will see is stage 3 are both called a chosen path. And I'm going to let Jeb embarrass himself.
Oh no!
Yes.
It's going to be. You know, I'm going to pull the spider.
Do it. This is the one Jeb has.
Oh, is it the spider?
Okay. The shadows grow darker. and you realize that a foul presence is aiming to draw you from the path, you must defeat it to pass this way. When revealed, each player must search the encounter deck and the discard pile for one spider card of his choice and add it to the staging area. The players must find and defeat Ungulant's spawn to win this game.
I chose the one.
No, you didn't. He's out.
I know, but it's still bad because I think the other one. If we look at the other one,
Just get forest spiders.
Yeah, but still, that's more stuff. I mean,
not as bad as it could be.
Yeah. So we got forest spider. Is that the easiest thing? Forest.
I think so.
King spider is pretty bad. I don't want to deal with him.
Forest spider.
Yeah, I've got 2 forest spiders in the discard.
Yep, there's just forest spiders left in here.
So Mickey's going to
shuffle this, and there's still really bad stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, guys.
And we both chose a forest spider. So what do we have to do? Kill the
What
king?
we have to do is, if you guys notice, the staging area is now horrible.
Yeah. And
even though we're so close to winning.
And on this card, it actually is a 0.
Yep.
So
but we have to defeat this to win the game.
Yep. So once we defeat it, it's over. So if we can kill it, we win.
But we have to survive this. So we put stuff in here. So what if you want to think about the balance of the game? So they told us we get to go pick 2 spiders. What they're trying to do is force this out. We had hidden information, so we knew that we could keep this out in the game. Probably not fair, but this game isn't fair to us. So
we take what we
so we kind of knew this was coming. That's why we set him up to die. But keep in mind that we had to put 2 spiders out here anyways. So now this row is ridiculous, and
2, 4, 6,
they set the
10.
forest spiders at 25, so they're coming down at us
Next turn.
no matter what. So anyways, that's where we sit right now. Those are out. I forget what phase we were in.
You just had attack
I
and
just had
Legolas
attack.
ability killed, so...
So we're going to refresh now.
No, I get my attack
Jeff
down.
gets his attack.
And
yes.
luckily, this guy can attack the guy in the staging
And he
area.
gets a plus
Ooh,
1. Right.
They won't die, right? So
How much do you get? You get plus
3.
1, a 3. No, they won't die.
So I'll choose this guy again to attack, and that'll be 3 against 1,
so
2 damage to kill. So he's out.
So,
And if you notice, this guy has no gold ring, and there's another one that does have a gold ring. So if we had done the easier one,
odds
wouldn't
are
have
this
to
wouldn't have come out.
well, it wouldn't have even been in the deck. Oh yeah, okay.
That's what I mean
I
by
gotcha.
it wouldn't have come out.
Alright.
Had a beer.
Still working on it. It tastes really good, doesn't it, with the honey?
Really good. Alright, refresh, right? You attacked. Or are
Yeah.
you going to do something with that one?
No, she can't do anything.
Really? Okay,
Oh, she
that
can't.
is
She's a one.
She
one
doesn't
attack.
do anything.
Yeah.
No. Alright. Refresh. Threat
She was
level
there
by
for-
1. I'm at a 34.
I'm at a 29.
Jeb's first player.
Get resources at the beginning of the round. Draw a card. Oh, I got
Good?
fodder. Yes. Did you get Gandalf or
No,
Axe?
I got faint.
Oh, nice. Nice. Alright, so since I'm first player, I'm going to use... I'll pay 1 for this attachment. Attached to a location, it gets -1 threat. So it's at a 1 now.
Why do you care? Oh, just so that we don't...
Just to play it safe.
Okay.
You know how I play. And then I'll pay 3 to bring out another Lorien guide. She is not unique, so I can have multiples of her.
Just for blocking purposes?
For blocking in case something happens.
Okay.
And then that is all I'm doing.
Alright. I'm going to put Citadel Plate Armor on the Gimli. It's a 4 cost, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. This gives Gimli plus 4 hit points, so he's a 9 now. That's kind of huge.
9 hit points? Yeah, that's like boss level.
Yeah, and think about it, since he gains a attack stat for every wound on him, you can really crank him up to be swinging for a lot.
We try to do that as much as we can, but we have hit in times where we walk a fine line and then he dies because of it.
Alright.
Alright.
Actually, to tell you the truth, Jeb and I probably are not going to give a crap about this, since that's a 0, about this phase.
I'm going to send her.
Why?
Well,
What are we going to get?
We got, what, 2, 4, or 1?
Everything's coming down.
It's going to be a 7 plus whatever, but remember, our threat goes up.
Yeah, I guess.
So 2, 4, 6, 7 plus, say, 4 is 11. That would put you at 45. I mean, it probably won't hit, but I'd rather...
Well, these guys are coming down.
Yeah.
And I can block... Well, I'm not doing anything. If you want to keep it to a minimum, yeah.
Well,
there's no reason not to.
Yeah, because she's not doing anything. So
fine.
I think all I'm sending in is her, and that's going to be a 5. So I'm not going to discard my card just in case we do something. But
This is so good. I got the Fang card.
Alright, so that's it for questing, right? So I've got 5 against 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. She's the only one exhausted, so she takes the damage.
This is so good, people.
Alright, so what did I say? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 against 5. Since we lost, we both raise our threat by 4 because that's the difference. And keep in mind that's all players increase it by that amount.
So I'm at 38.
I'm at 33. Alright, so that's it for the questing.
Yep.
Travel? Do you want to travel where they make it exhaust by... Or when we travel there, each player exhausts a hero.
You know what? Is it interesting? Do we have to not have a travel location there?
If we win?
I don't know. Honestly, I mean,
think
the
just
win
once
condition is that.
Yeah,
so
I think if we have one here, then it's fine. But I actually have a card that if we travel there, it puts 2 progress tokens on it, so it would clear it. The only thing is, you have to, or both of us are going to have to.
But we'd have to exhaust the hero.
and that's
No, I'm not doing that. It just stays how it is.
Yeah. All right. So
Okay,
we're not traveling.
Engagement phase.
All right. So I'm first player, so I can choose to engage something. Oh, what is this? After you travel, first player may draw 2 cards.
Oh.
We can travel there. I'll draw 2 cards. Heck. Ooh. Do you have any allies in your discard?
Yes.
Any 2 or lower or not?
Yes. I got both my axe hands.
Where does this go? If I can resurrect an ally,
On your
put
side.
that ally into play under my control.
These guys are 2 health and they swing for 2.
Hey, that's better than the Wandering Took. I'll play it, so I can get one of Mickey's allies.
And that
back.
shows you how somebody else can get one of your cards too.
Yep. So I'll play that in the action window that is there.
Oh, you have enough to block. Take both of them, so I don't have to take any. Oh, I only have to take that then.
Yeah. So I will optionally engage one of the forest spiders.
I will decline engaging anything.
And now we do our check. So since I'm first player, I have more than 25.
You have to take that then. No, you don't
I'm
have
not at
35 yet.
35
That's
yet.
right. So you go moves down. Oh, well, that was a great example right there of how that works.
Yep.
And then I'm at 38, so I have to take that down in front of me.
Alright, so we've done the engagement checks. So, when's your window open, Mickey?
For
I thought you said you had Faint. Isn't that the game winner?
not until we deal. I'm not gonna do it until we deal the shadow effects, because whatever it goes on, it negates it.
Oh, okay. Alright, so shadow effects now. So I'll place that, and then that, and that. Alright, so shadow cards are out.
And then you
So
finish
I have to
and
defend first, so I will send one of the scouts to defend against this thing. It has a 3 attack because it just came down. No effect. So 3 minus 0 is 3. She dies. Legolas gets
a resource.
a resource. This one, I'll block it with my other Girl Scout. No effect. She dies.
Legos get the resource.
King Spider is going to attack. I'll defend with Mickey's guy. Defending player must choose and discard one attachment. Ooh, defending player. Ouch. Well, it doesn't matter. So that's gone. It's a... Wait. This thing is attacking. It's a 3. -1 is 2. It dies. So Mickey gets a resource on Legolas. And I blocked everything. So now Mickey's turn to block.
Okay. So there's an action phase. I'm going to play Feint. What Feint says, it's a combat action. We're in combat right now. Choose an enemy engaged with a player. I'm going to choose myself. That enemy cannot attack this player phase. I'm going to choose the big spider. So this actually goes away.
Yeah.
This doesn't even happen. There's actually a timing thing here that's important for you guys. These get dealt, and then you can play Feint. So that this actually just never even gets dealt to it. Well, I mean, it gets dealt, but it goes away. So that doesn't happen because he doesn't get to attack.
If that wasn't the rule, then this would have stayed in the deck, and maybe it would come out.
So I played Feint. He is not able to attack. I am going to defend with... How many points do I need? He has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So 4 left?
4, and...
You need 6 to kill it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 7.
We losing a hero?
Yep.
Ouch.
Maybe. Depend on... But this thing's for 3, 2, 1... Yep. Okay. So, I'm going to defend with Thalen. Shadow effect. Attacking enemy gets +1. It doesn't matter anyways. But he's swinging for 4. He has a 2. It's 2 damage. That's way over what Thalen has. He dies.
So when a hero dies, he loses all the resources that were on him.
And
then
he dies. Jeb and I like to... We don't put him in the discard pile. We flip him over, usually.
Yeah, I don't think you actually put him in the discard.
Yeah, well, it's just easier to keep track of if you know, kind of like, oh, I got a hero dead.
And there's actually a blue card that brings back heroes.
Yep.
So that's...
Yep, it's possible.
Yep.
It's not likely. It's
Yeah.
possible.
I think we've only done it like once.
Alright, so it's attack phase, Jeb.
Nothing's out in the middle. They would be a 3 combined.
You probably hit somebody and take something out.
Yeah. Both of them attack this guy, so 3 - 1 is 2 damage to kill him. So I killed a spider. I did something.
Alright, so Unbalance Spawn, however you say that, is in play here. Guess what the goal is? Alright, so I'm going to swing with Gimli. Remember, his damage, 1, 2, get added to his attack. He's got 4. Legolas has 3, so that's 7 - 2 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 is death. 5 is overkill.
And
it is...
just one quick thing. I know you had asked the question if this existed, if we actually won, and I'm pretty sure we would. But
hey, this is in bold.
Yeah.
It's just... honestly, I think it's the first time we've ever asked that question. Though.
Yeah. And,
but...
I was just going to say, if for some reason that happens, I have a card that I could have played that would have put 2 on it, and then if Legolas killed it, it would have put 2 to clear it. So it would have been gone.
But I will say, as far as we know of the rules,
yeah.
You guys can correct us if we're wrong. Once this is revealed, whatever the win condition is the win condition.
Yeah. So I don't think this would even matter.
Honestly, to tell you, it would say something like, and there's no current locations or something like that.
They're really good about it.
They're very good about specifics. And we'll get into that in some, in the review and things like that on what we think and what you should remember. But this is dead now, and believe it or not, you actually got to see us win. I kind of figured we were going to lose, and it
felt like we were.
Yeah, it did. It felt like we were going to lose, and it's really cool that you got to see us win because a lot of times we get obliterated.
I would have been sad if we had lost on the 1A of this quest or whatever.
In case you're wondering, this is almost gone. If it pardon the English, if it gets gone,
if it runs out,
you reshuffle it and you start all over.
Yeah.
And if you remember, the only thing that wouldn't be in the deck, from what Jeb said, is anything with victory points. You get to actually take out and keep as victory points. I don't know that there is any. Is there?
So there was one that was dealt as a shadow card, and it says victory 4. But the thing is, if it's dealt as a shadow card,
it just goes in the discard pile.
Yeah, it's just normally discarded. It's when you actually kill it is when it goes out of play.
Yep.
So
if you're actually trying to score points, you kind of want those, except usually they're vicious.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you'll be happy when you kill them because they're out of the deck.
All right. So there you go. We actually won. We'll be back in a second for a review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you. Well, if you get to this part, you did watch it.
Yeah.
I hope you watched it.
It was good. I think it was one of the good ones.
We just did Lord of the Rings. Hopefully you guys watched the gameplay.
If you haven't, go watch it.
You should, if you watched, the basic setup and the basic mechanics and stuff like that, I hope we did a good enough job. But in this video, we highly recommend you watch the gameplay because I think you'll see it a little bit. At least watch 10 minutes or something.
We ran into so many situations that are clearly explained that I think it was one of
it's one of our better gameplay ones I think that we've done so far, and it's pretty important. So, anyways, again, Lord of the Rings. It's an LCG. If you haven't watched any of our previous videos, an LCG basically means a living card game. What that means is that you buy the core set. Jeb and I bought, we each have an individual one. What we did, because in this game, when you deck build, you can have 3 of a card. Yep. In true Fantasy Flight fashion, they kind of screw you over on the core sets because they want you to buy multiples. The other packs are so cool the way they do it. I don't know why they do it with the cores.
Yeah, should we just take a second to say that in all the games for Fantasy Flight games, it's you buy the core. And they'll give you some 3-ofs, some 2-ofs, and some 1-ofs.
Yep.
But then you buy the data packs, and they're all 3-ofs.
Right.
So it's like you find out that the data packs are 3-ofs.
Adventure pack. He's talking Netrunner.
Yeah, sorry. Adventure pack. So all the packs are wonderful because you get everything, and you get 3 of them. But then when it comes to the cores, it's the cores that are always the problem.
Awful.
So in this one, since we actually didn't want to each buy another core, we split the cost of one core. And we took the ones, or the cards
that we were going to play. Yeah. So if you watch the review, Jeb usually plays blue-purple. Yeah. I play red-green. We split up the best cards between them. So we almost both have, we do have full sets of what we need, right?
Yeah.
And we almost have full sets of the other. If you're a completionist, bottom line is you either go to eBay and get your extras, or you buy this. The problem with this one is you get a lot of useless because what happens is you get all those enemy cards and stuff in that you only need 1 of. So it's not like some of the other games. So this one's kind of brutal in getting to where you need to be, right?
So there's 3 quests in this. The first one, we played it. It was pretty easy. Sometimes you'll lose. Most of the time you'll win. You hit that second one. That was,
you don't even know how. You don't even know why it's there.
It was the biggest wall that I think we've ever experienced, jumping from one quest to a next. Because we could not beat the second quest without buying the second quest.
We were all over BBG looking at, and just go look. You see so many complaints, it's ridiculous.
You hear Hill Troll? That gives me nightmares.
There's a little sneak preview. Just to let you. So there you go. There's a little sneak peek. There's a bunch of stuff that we've got. We've either started or we will at some point. We don't ever plan on stopping playing this until they.
It's a great
until they. If you haven't figured out, we both love this game.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
I think from now on it's just going to be us talking about how great it is.
Yeah. So
I think our biggest beef is the 1-ofs and 2-of cards in the
core. It doesn't. That being said, though, the core set really will give you a feel for the game.
Oh yeah.
Fantasy Flight does a really good job of that. The stuff that you build, you can play. But again, going back to what Jeb said about the second scenario, you would never expect the jump between it. It's almost like you immediately have to go out and get more cards. And what I mean by more cards is another one of these, or borrow, or play with another person. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's rough.
And compared to the other LCGs, I think the other core sets are, when you buy them, you don't have to buy another core set to be able to get the full value out of those cores. It's only this one that I've seen where
because of the second scenario?
Yeah, because of that, you could.
Right.
I doubt if you're beating the second scenario with one core.
You got lucky.
Super lucky, or you're doing something wrong. So.
Yeah, those are the two scenarios for real. If we see comments that disagree, I challenge. I
would
challenge
love to
you
see
to it.
gameplay of
I
somebody.
want to see you just without cheating be able to do it because it's rough.
Yeah.
Without giving away too much. If you don't walk right into the forest snares and have the ability to attach them, you're screwed. So anyway, that's getting ahead of ourselves. We love this game.
Yes.
I think I had it first, talked Jeb into getting it, or we played a game and Jeb was like, "I'm all in."
Yeah, it was one of those days where I know you had been talking about getting people to play it, and then I was there and I was like, "Okay, let's try it out." And then I saw it and I was like, "This is really good."
We're all in. And again, Jeb mentioned it in the intro. We're not that far in, only because we don't have time enough. And we always play until we defeat the level. And we also, which this is a personal preference, if we think we got lucky, we'll replay it.
Yeah.
To see if we really did get lucky.
We made no changes, we played it, and we won in 2 rounds. And it's no, that
never happens. And then we played it again, and yeah.
There was one we didn't replay that we beat on the first try, but that was such a good game that we didn't feel like we needed to replay it.
Yep. But that's personal. If you want to plow through when you win, great.
Oh, another personal thing that we do is that we only play with the cards of the current quest or before. Yep. Some people will just take whatever from anywhere. We like just having the current resources and whatever before available. So if we're in the second deluxe, or we're working on the second deluxe quest, we'll have everything from that set and before, but anything after we won't use. So we actually haven't seen most of the new cards and stuff like that.
Well, other than what they preview, we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So what do you got on the list of things to remind them of?
We like it. Who do you think would dislike it or like it? I think co-op people. If you like challenges, I think this is a great one.
Definitely, and co-op, like you said, huge co-op game.
The themes, the way they execute themes in the different quests.
Awesome.
I've
so
never
much
seen
feels
such
like
good
you're
stuff.
questing in this thing. I think Jeb had down dungeon crawl people. Definitely, if you're a dungeon crawl type person and you like card games, do this.
Like some of the scenarios, you'll go from one where it's attack heavy, so you're constantly fighting people, and then the very next one, it's all quest heavy, so it's hard.
All willpower.
You have to maintain everything.
Yeah, you have to keep a balance.
And then, actually, just a quick mention, we did one of the yearly events that they have now.
So good.
Was it Murder at the Prancing Pony? Oh man, that was so wonderful.
If you played this game and next time at Fantasy Flight advertising an event, if you've never seen it, keep an eye out for it. If you have, I would say, I would probably drive up to an hour and a half.
Yeah. 2
might be pushing it, but up to that, if you can do it, or if you're willing to go further, it was that much fun.
Yeah.
Really fun.
So much that if people want us to do it, we'll do the Prancing Pony just to show
That was really cool.
Because it's pretty much like a murder mystery, and you're trying to figure out who killed. And it's how do they fit all of that into this thing?
They do it,
and they do it.
Good stuff.
And everything's always changing, so it's pretty cool. After that, let's see. Do we recommend it? I think that's obvious.
We didn't talk about who might not like it though.
Oh, not like it?
All right. I'll start with this, and maybe it'll trigger Jeb to remember something. I will say this about this game. If you are not familiar with card game mechanics. Like Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever. I think at first you will find this difficult. We commented a few times about reading the cards literal and stuff like that. If you don't understand card game mechanics, you might find this a little bit difficult at first, at least, until you got familiar with it. And of course, if you just don't like card games, obviously stay away from it. But if you're not familiar with those types of mechanics on how games work, I think this is very mechanic driven. Yeah. Would you agree with that?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even we're finding parts where we might mess up once in a while.
We've corrected ourselves.
Definitely hitting forums to learn. We've got tons of questions about certain things.
What they intended on how cards work and things like that. And there's probably a couple. There's not a whole lot of errata, but there's a lot of clarification because I don't know, things get lost in translation. I don't want you to get scared away if you're interested in it, but I'm just saying that it's a very card mechanic driven game. If you don't like that, if you like easy clear things, like really easy clear things, you probably we've been playing card games for a long time, so we naturally just kind of knew how to do it. But even just like Jeb said, we've gone a little bit and then found out, oh, you're doing that wrong. But it did not ruin the gameplay. The game is still it just works. Yeah. Even if you do things wrong, it feels like it's right.
Yeah, and you said my memory jogging. Yeah, if people don't like challenges, if you don't like challenges, you probably don't want to play this because you have to accept that you're going to lose.
This is not Takeda.
Yeah, there's no like you're always going to win this the first time you play it. Pick it
or
up,
just
whatever.
happy jolly go along. Not going to happen.
If you want a game to fight and just like push you, crush your soul,
crush your soul.
It brings
get
back
you
memories
to the very end and then turn something over that just wipes you out.
So many
right here.
Oh,
right here.
You can plan so well. We've been in situations where like, if we have it, everything is set up so that we're going to win no matter what. We flip a card, it just ruins it.
We've literally gotten to the point where we're like, don't jinx it.
Yeah.
We just don't say anything until we actually win.
Yeah.
Because there's been times when we're like, we got this. Just like Jeb said, boom, there's a card. No, you don't.
No.
And Gandalf can only save today so many times, especially since he's unique.
Yeah,
so you can only put one of him down at a time.
I think our second game we tried doing, we played 2 Gandalfs.
And we went, oops.
We saw that he was unique and we were like, we lost. So.
Right. So anyways, I think that's mostly it's pretty involved too, if you don't want to be in an involved game.
Yeah.
So, other than... But if you love Lord of the Rings,
oh yeah, this is
thematically awesome.
I played one other Lord of the Rings game and it was all right, but it wasn't anything compared to this. I don't even remember the name of it, but it wasn't anything as good as this.
All right, what else we got, Jim?
All right, so I think at this point we want to talk about the things to remember when we play. So, as we might have mentioned, there's a lot of things that come up during gameplay that. At some point we were like, we just need to write down stuff so we remembered what to check. So some of these things, forgetting to raise your threat or passing the first player token.
Those are 2 easy things to
you get involved in the game. It's just one of those things where if you run through each of the steps as you play and make it a habit of playing, then you'll remember it. So I think we've gotten to that point where we're always like, refresh phase, what is it? Planning phase, combat phase. We always say it out loud before we do it. So,
so just so it becomes automatic, it's pretty automatic for us now. But I'll say sometimes when it gets pretty involved, we'll still forget once in a while. Yeah. Not often, but if it's, I know it sounds stupid. Like we really get into this game. So,
unique cards. I think Gandalf is one of the best examples because early on we were playing like. Gandalf a couple times at a time, and you can't do that. He's unique. I don't think we ran into that with anything else, but attachments or something to look out for.
So remember, and that's why Gandalf was easy to forget, because he's neutral, so you're going to run, I mean, at least we do. We put him in both decks, because he's so good.
Yeah.
But it was easy for us to forget that, oh, wait a second, unique is the whole table, not just your cards.
Yep.
You can't put another unique card if it's in play, period. Not in play on your side, in play, period. So Jeb can't play Gandalf and I can't play Gandalf in the same turn, period.
Yeah. Another
Sneak
thing.
attack and take it off.
Yeah. Oh, Sneak Attack's wonderful. Look at Sneak Attack. You'll love that card. Oh yeah, completely reading the cards. And I know that happened in our gameplay video.
We did it. We gave you an example of being an idiot.
You look at a card, and sometimes you just kind of, it's so, like, you remember the good part of the effect, but you don't remember the exact text. And
the trigger part, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Gandalf is another example, because at one point we thought that it could lower either player's threat, but I think he actually just, it's your own threat.
I believe so, yes.
And then the same with the draw the cards, like, because he has an effect where you can either lower threat, draw cards, or do damage. And if you pick the draw cards, you're the one drawing the cards, not an ally. So just read the cards, even if you've seen that card 1,000 times, you played it 1,000 times,
and take it very literally.
Yes, literal. So another thing, planning happens in player order. Yeah, player order is...
Player order is pretty important, and the reason Jeff mentioned the planning part of it is because you have to put your allies and your attachments down before your partner does, or whatever. It's hard to explain without seeing it, but you'll realize. But it's not like there's not any communication. So you got, it's like, well, I can put this and this on, and it's just that. The problem is you might run into something where you're like, why couldn't I have been first person this turn?
Or like, so if Mickey had a card that he wanted to play really bad and it cost 3 resources, he only has 2, but on my turn during the planning phase, I could give him a resource. If he's first player, that can't work.
Yep.
He's just out of luck.
Out of luck until next time.
So
there's some fine points.
Yeah, it's not all the time, but you can see it pop up sometimes. Current location and quest, that was important with
that's a big part of the game. You'll probably get a lot of questions if you start playing about how that works. And in general, the way that it works is, and I'm not going to blanket this because there usually end up being exceptions, but you have your location and you have the quest. So in general, whenever you get to put something on wherever you're at, it's going to go on location first, then quest. There are a couple cards that will bypass location, but it's kind of rare.
Usually it's bad guy cards, and they're like, remove
everything from the quest. Yeah, and that's literally the quest, not the current location.
So it hurts.
But you know what? There's a pretty good following of this game, and it's usually pretty easy to find an answer if you.
Oh yes. Anytime you just type it into Google and bam, you've got.
Yep. It's either something's going to pop up on the Fantasy Flight boards or BGG.
Yeah.
If you don't know what BGG is, that's Board Game Geek.
Yeah, that's a good forum location. Hard to use, but good. But whatever. Combat. The shadow cards are all dealt at the same time. Yeah. I think for a little bit we played where
we actually did turn order on that. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so it's all the shadow cards are dealt, and then we resolve in turn order.
Yeah,
that's one quick thing. Scoring, we didn't do that. This is for if you're trying to keep score of your game.
Yeah. We did it for a little bit.
Yeah, we tried it a few times, but then it got to the point.
And it got kind of interesting, but honestly, we just, at least for Jeb and I, we just enjoy the game so much. We really don't care about the score. To us, it's all about the winning. Again, if you're, and we have other things that hit the table, even though this is probably the one that hits the most.
Yeah.
But if you're the type of person that likes, you just want to dive in and that's all you want to do, and you do want to do comparisons to your old scores and play things again, or play with different groups, different groups, you could be like, here's my score with this group, let's see if we can beat it with this group, or whatever. You certainly do that.
Yeah. What else? attach to allies. That was a big thing we didn't do for a while. Where like if I have a card that I can attach to one of Mickey's guys, I could do that. For a while we played just attaching to our own stuff, and sometimes you get so into the game that when you're thinking of your combinations and stuff, you never take into account if you can help out.
We didn't do that long, but Jeb's right. We did focus on our own, and then I don't know who read it, but we literally sat down, like I said, literally read the card, and it said attached to a hero or a ally. Didn't say your.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't say your, you got free reign of the whole board.
Yep.
So that's another thing.
And the last thing, which I told Mickey we'll save to the end, the way the quests are rated in difficulty, and we laugh at this every time because you just might not as well rate them right.
Well, let's put it this way. Sometimes we've gone in, and it's been, we've seen a quest rated 7, and I don't know if it's because of our deck builds or what. And I'll tell you right now, a 7, that's tough.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
They rate them out of 10, right?
Yeah, it's out of 10.
Yeah.
And we've won, and we're like, what the heck? And then we'll get ready, and then the next one coming up, it says level 4. And we've lost 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, the way that Jeb and I approach this game is from one quest to another. We beat a quest. We love the element of surprise of this game, and we highly recommend you do it like this. Like we have most of all the adventure sets already bought. We don't open. We don't look at. Well, we'll scan our own cards. We do not look at enemy cards. We do not look at quests. We do not look at any information that's surprise, so to speak. So, when we win something, we immediately go into the next quest, not knowing what we have to do, not knowing what's coming at us, not knowing what cards are going to go in the encounter
not
deck.
changing our deck either.
And we don't change our deck. We see what's going to happen if we just go in with the same group.
There's been times where we get obliterated immediately. There's times where we get all the way to the end, and everything in between. So
and everything in between.
It's really fun.
But what we've noticed is that probably 8 out of 10 times, which makes this game marvelous, you have to change that deck.
Yep.
Or you're not gonna. They like force you to reconstruct the deck to make it so that you have the proper allies or the proper heroes or whatever. So you're not going to be able to like make a top tier deck and just be able to fly through the whole game, which is really I think that's one of the reasons why I love this thing so much, is it forces us to change up all the time.
And it's not like most games where you're like, oh, I've got this huge card pool of cards that I never play. You'll find a card that in a quest where you
one particular scenario.
Even we were going to play, like, Mickey likes playing with Legolas and Gimli, and I was enjoying playing with, what's his name, Aragorn?
Yep.
And then we hit the first deluxe, and we realized that we needed dwarves.
We needed dwarves bad.
So both of us are now running 3 dwarves in each of our deck as heroes, and that actually works really well with that.
And it's
set.
awesome.
So you'll be getting good use out of all the cards you buy.
Yeah, so that's another, again, not having the dead stuff just laying around. If they would have designed this thing so you could have just plowed through it, I think we'd be bored of it already.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have invested as much time or money into it.
But the quests are also, they do really neat mechanics every single time. There's something new, they'll throw something in. Most things are very like there'll be a scenario where they stick one card in the deck and you have to find it.
Oh, those are awful. Because then there's a chance that it can be dealt as a shadow card. It gets discarded, and then you have to wait for the entire
you have to wait
deck
for it to go through.
Back, and it's like
now, granted, they give you some mechanics that help you search, but I mean, you really have to think about and plan, and like you're on a quest.
Yep.
Or an adventure. Good stuff. Just really good stuff.
And then I think for the core, Yeah, what are the? I can't remember the difficulty ratings, but the first one is like a 3 or a 4.
I think it goes 3, 7, 5.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought the last one was the most difficult, but it actually isn't. We'll check really quick. What is it?
Oh no, 1.
1,
4, 7.
And
4 is the worst.
Yeah, that's the biggest lie because for
biggest lie.
The one for the first one is I can see that it wasn't. It's a little.
Yeah.
It can be difficult.
Hey, you saw how close we came to losing.
The 4 for the second, we played that one at least 10 times, I think. We ended up having to buy another core, so we had cards that we could actually beat it.
Yep.
And then the 7th one, I think we beat in maybe like 2 or 3. So
yeah.
I think the most difficult in the core is the second one.
Yeah.
So
that one really has to do with if you can stop one particular card.
Yeah, or you'll just get trampled.
Yep.
I think that's about it. So
I think so. So
if you watch the review, I think you realize
I think it's pretty clear that we love this game.
Yeah.
So
we definitely recommend trying it. Just buy the core. You can get a feel for it with the first quest.
Oh. The solo part of it. This is one of the best solo games. Yeah. I mean, we said, but we didn't elaborate. This is really an excellent game solo.
Yeah.
You might have to modify in some particular situations, I suppose. You know, and don't forget the deck building. You start mixing up the spheres, so you need to figure out the best combination. But this is actually really one of the best solo games I've seen. I'd recommend it with somebody else, but if you got nobody and you just like the game, it works well by itself.
Yeah, it's not like one of the games where if you want to solo it, you have to like control 2 characters or 2 decks or something like that. You just have your own stuff and you can go at it.
Good luck, it's vicious, but it plays well.
Yeah, and it scales well because when you flip over the cards, it's dependent on the number of people, so it's not too difficult if you're by yourself. I think that's about it.
I think so.
Give it a shot. We both recommend it.
Yeah.
You want to tell them what the next episode's going to be?
Oh, I told them last time. You tell.
Oh, you told them last time?
I think so.
Oh, well, this game is a game Mickey had introduced to me, and I enjoyed it. I've only played it, once? And similar to Lord of the Rings, it's one that really destroys.
Hopefully we'll have 4 players for it.
Yeah, it's ghost stories. I had never heard of it until Mickey told me about it. We played it, and it reminded me of Lord of the Rings because it can get brutal. It's a close game, and I think you'll enjoy it when you watch it. But enough of that.
Yep, that's up next.
We've got Twitter, Facebook, our YouTube page. Like them, subscribe them. You'll get the information as we start sending out the
Vote
videos.
for your fan pick.
Yes, we do have a couple of fan pick votes. So if there's something you want to watch us play, let us know.
3 more games and then fan pick.
Yep, and then the season 2.
And then season 2 starts.
Oh wow, that's ambitious of us, but I think we're gonna get there.
All right.
So.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks. Bye. Boards and booze, booze and boards with Mickey and Jeb.